Okay, so this will be the first video I'm going to share a little bit about the mission trip that we're going on. I had expected to text ahead to different people and maybe organizations and ministries and offer work in exchange for maybe a little money for gas or some gas. I don't believe we should just go out there and just ask without doing something in exchange. I did have eye surgery, that's why I've got these glasses on, and I actually had to stop at this particular place, which you can see the rock formations behind are very nice. This is Green River, Wyoming, and we've made it this far. And so far, the trip has gone very, very pleasantly. I mean, except for my eye starting to hurt pretty bad, and we had to stop at this hotel here. But there's three of us, and we're splitting the cost. So the last hotel was only $20 a piece, or $23 a piece, and we've had enough gas money. I didn't figure out our budget for this trip, but basically something happened with the house that we had for the East Coast that is to be a ministry headquarters serving the East Coast of the United States. God opened up doors and blessed us with this place. It's debt-free, there's no mortgage on it, and it had been remodeled even before we had come in possession of it, and that was quite a few years back. But there's been some issues and some difficulties with the house because we can't find a person. There's such a difficulty finding ministry interest-minded or people interested in doing mission work. You know, we can talk all day about what mission work is. It's, you know, but for now, just to establish, it's going to the foot of the cross. It's really submitting our will and our wishes to Christ, and then going and telling others what He's done for us. I mean, I start with what He did for me on the cross. That was unbelievably heart-touching to the core, to where I want to serve Him all the days of my life, and that's what I personally want to do. Now, how do we find other people that want to do the same thing? You know, I've found it very hard to find people. People go to church, they do their things, they're working, they're supporting their families. I understand that. Their family is their first mission. I've heard it all. I understand all that. Okay, I don't want to debate on that and discuss that right now. I would love to with any of you, but this house has been empty, and so basically the government, the city, the county, I had an impression at about 2:27 in the morning, was wakened just with, not terror, but with anxiety, with the thought to call about the house. And I thought, well, what could possibly be the problem? I've got the neighbors watching, mowing the lawn. I've got the church pastor there, locally interested in it for youth ministry purposes and pregnant teens. And you know, what's the problem? Well, I called, and they actually put it on a demolition list because it had been uninhabited. They had had word that no one was living in it. So there's a new program to demolish houses that are not being lived in. It's basically a crime not to live in a house, or to own a house that's not being lived in and occupied. One of the things that, when my mother went back to live in the house, to be the head person there to get that ministry started in her, you know, late 70s, 78 years old, or 77 at the time, she gets there and goes and turns the key to go in the house, and there's 6 people in the house. Okay, basically there was a man and a woman with 4 children. We were shocked. The police said, of course, they have to go, but then after talking with them, and I talked to them on the phone, they didn't have any place to go. They were really running from the police. 2 of the kids were his, 2 of the kids were hers. She was running from her ex, and he was running from his ex, and they got together and they decided to just hide out in this abandoned, well, this house. They broke into it, and the police said there's a law, you know, possession is 9/10 of the law, and so they would not allow us to go into the house. So now they're demolishing it. So basically we're going back to stop this demolition and, you know, do what we can with God's help to establish a Kalapa House project for the East Coast. This is a couple hours from New York, upstate New York. So It's not in New York, it's not in Pennsylvania, it's in Ohio, and it's in the upper part. It's a beautiful area, not far from Montreal, from Niagara Falls, not far from the Great Lakes, and actually taking boats and sailing clear up into Canada and some beautiful islands. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. There's no Fukushima, radiation back there. It's green, there's no fire hazard, there's no smoke in the air, and except for being somewhat cold in the winter. The house is on natural gas, high-speed internet. It's 4 stories. We would be willing to allow someone to live in this house and even sign a 5-year commitment from us that we would not charge you anything for living in this house. We're going to get everything right the way it needs to be, internet, utilities, fix it up again, and we're going to be praying that someone will take an interest. Jesus died for the people in that community, and even though the local people don't understand, why would you be interested in here? Well, why would Americans go and live in any poor country or poor area? There's poor places right here in the United States. This is a town that had 60,000 people where the house is, and now it's 30,000 because industries have shut down. And so, yeah, there is a problem with some crimes and things going on in this town because the homeless have come in and started occupying these unattended houses. So I understand their program, and I'm not saying I'm even against it. I just don't want them tearing down the house that God provided and opened a door for us. I think we are negligent, our family, in not doing something with that house. So we decided we're going to do something. We're going to act. And I talked to a few people, like my dear mother and Rolf. So we've got my mother, who will be 80 in just a few months, and supposed to have both hips replaced. Can you imagine? They do that now. They replace your hips. She's having bone-on-bone, pain. And Julie, who has 1 kidney and kidney failure on the 1 remaining. We've got Bernie, who had a motorcycle crash, who is handicapped, semi-quadriplegic. We've got Rolf, who had 2 hip replacements, just recovering from rehab just a week or so ago, and myself, and we're all going back in a car, 230,000 miles on this car. It's had several accidents so bad that it cost more than the car was worth to fix it the last time, just the body work and the radiator. We've got this far, Green River, Wyoming. If anyone watches this and wants to be a part of this mission project for the East Coast of the United States and would like to live in a home where they're involved in a ministry that is interested in health and humanitarian work and sharing the gospel and sharing Jesus and His love with the world, please contact us. Please contact me. My cell phone is 530-353-5561, 530-353-5561, and we would give you a very stable situation there for yourself. This is in a little community. There's a river, there's a golf course, there's grocery stores. I really like the community. It's a very, very, if you're there for yourself, you could either like it or not like it. I don't look at things like that. I say, are there people? Can I be a blessing to the people here? Can I be a blessing to the local government, the law enforcement? So I'm going to go back there and make sure the police department are on our side, that they understand what we're doing, that the mayor knows, that the top officials and on the county council members, and it's taken some time, but this is it. It's come down to this, and so please pray for us. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video. So now Kalapa House is launching a project in the East Coast of the United States now in a bigger way than before, and we're just asking you, pray with us and be a part of it. Thank you. Please share this. Perhaps a family that would like to be a little bit stabler situation and be involved in ministry. And then you could travel outside the country, get your passport. Jesus is coming. Let's share the gospel with the world. Okay? Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye-bye.